That was Tony Jones and the Cretin 3. I've heard of them once before.
What sick person wrote that song?
I have no idea. But that, again, was Tony Jones and the Cretin 3. The name of the song was Large Marge off their ubiquitous Post-Mortem album, just released.
Rest in peace, Joe Moody.
I believe I was the actual first physical copy ever handed out.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I'm stepping up in the world. I'm getting D-list celebrities' first CDs ever.
Your coffee table has the finest coasters available because we're still putting out physical CDs for some reason. Just a handful, though.
Either way, this is My Night Out Radio. I am DJ Psycho Eddie. The other voice you're hearing is Mr. Tony Jones himself, 7 feet of pure charisma. It sounds weird when I say it. When you do it, it sounds awesome.
It's all in the delivery.
Anyways, I got to tell you guys, I've had a great week. Fortunately, the food poisoning that almost took me out 2 weeks ago has finally left my system completely, so I could torture myself again for your sick and twisted pleasure. Some people, and I have been told, people live vicariously through my stomach.
Sure.
Because I go to places that no one else can really find. And I don't even think they're that far off the beaten path. But this week, I got to say, I went to a place that I've gone only once before. And it's because it's a food truck, and I never know where the heck they're going to be. However, I can also tell you where they're going to be now. I went to Great Northern Barbecue Company. For those of you who don't know, Metal Fest was yesterday. They were in the parking lot of Metal Fest, so I get to go out there twice, actually, during the course of the day. So, yeah, great food, just waiting for you to just approach the trailer. And I made two very good choices. The first choice I made the first time I stopped, which was, we'll call it lunch, I got a brisket sandwich. Now, it's not just slab of meat, slab of bread. This was actually toasted. It could have been whole wheat. It could have been multigrain. I'm not really sure. I wasn't being that picky yesterday. Now, it wasn't just meat and like a little mustard or whatever. There was a nice red cabbage coleslaw and thick-cut pickles in there.
Wow.
So, yeah, I mean, the sandwich itself, it was a triple-decker, so it had two nice slabs of thin-cut brisket. You had the coleslaw on each level. You had the pickles on each level. The toast was actually very crispy. It held up well throughout the few minutes that sandwich lasted.
It's quick life.
Twinkies at fat camps have a longer longevity than that sandwich did. But I got to tell you, the brisket itself, I deconstructed a little bit of the sandwich so I can taste each individual component to it. The brisket, I got to say, it had that nice, fatty, unctuous, nice mouthfeel to it. Good I don't even know how to put it. It had good body to it. It fell apart while you chewed it, but it wasn't just going to be, when you have roast beef that's shaved too thin and it just crumbles. It wasn't like that. Yeah. This was a nice couple pieces of meat in there. The coleslaw had a nice vinegar flavor to it. The pickles, kind of on the sweet side, but it still had that little acidic bite to them, and it cut through the fattiness of the meat. It was excellent. Spices were excellent on it. That was just the first thing I got off that.
And this man knows what he's talking about, because the last time I had decent brisket outside of Dirk's Barbecue on Thayer Street was standing in your backyard. So,
yeah, I am a little bit of a barbecue snob, and I'm not going to lie on that one. The other thing I had, which was really, really good, and it could have been because I was really, really drunk, but everyone else agreed with me on this one, the pulled pork tacos. 2 to an order. I only spent like $7 or $8 on the tacos, and they were huge. They actually had to put 2 layers of the soft taco to contain all of this meat and veggie goodness.
Now, I want people to think about quality over quantity when you name that price, because that's about what it would cost for you to pull through the drive-thru at Taco Bell. to get just grade D everything.
Yeah, the only reason they could call it meat is because scrappings and leftovers have a bad connotation.
Snouts.
But I mean, this was really good. It looked and had the consistency. Can't talk right now. Had the consistency of like a good pork shoulder, smoked properly. It had a really good flavor to it. Again, the slaw, the pickles in it. It definitely set off very nicely. And that angriness that you would get when you get too hungry, it definitely kept that at bay. And I'm not going to lie, yesterday it was the first show I've ever been to where I was not working.
Yeah, same crowd, but you were in a different
crowd,
format.
I got to talk to these people, and I made connections with people. I mean, I talk to people every day, everywhere I go. I talk to people. If you have ever met me and talked to me, you know I will not shut up. But I'm talking to these people that I've been seeing for years at these shows, and I'm finally making the connection. Oh, crap, this is how I know you. So, yeah, it was a very, very big eye-opener for me yesterday. And then, of course, I mean, I had to do it on my way home. Before I hopped in the Uber home, I had to stop at Oneyville, New York.
Oh, yeah.
Because I had not punished myself enough with the vodka and other chemicals and whatever I put through my body. So I'm going to take a break here. Now, again, talking about people that you never really talk to because you see them but only in passing, and you really don't have time to really sit down and chat with these people. The guys from 610 Connector were actually at the show yesterday, and they didn't recognize me because I wasn't in clown paint. But finally, they made the connection of who I was because of who the other people I was talking to. They came over. They told me, they have new material coming out. They're doing a little bit of a revamp on the band. But they love it every time I play their music. So guess what? We're going to play some more of their music. The name of the song is Before It Came Undone. This is 610 Connector. We'll be back in a minute. right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Link by Adapter. Before that, we had Before It Came Undone. That was 610 Connector. Now, like I was saying just before the break, I was at Metal Fest 4. Now, I'm not going to go through the whole list because there was a lot of great bands. And being that, I was a patron. I paid to get in. I paid my money. I got in. I was entertained in a way that I've never been entertained before, because I'm going back and forth to the stages. I'm talking to people, go out to the smoking area. I'm not staring at my phone constantly trying to figure out, oh, crap, I got 3 minutes to get back, and I got to get through a pile of people to get there. I was nice and relaxed all day. The alcohol may have had something to do with that. I'm not going to lie. I was I actually started pre-gaming at noon. And I didn't even get to the show until 3 o'clock, if that's any indication. But I was not a DUI waiting to happen. I made sure I took care of myself. I went and I took an Uber.
Yeah.
I left the house, Ubered down, bounced around downtown a little bit, made it to the show. And, I took like 3-4 Ubers last night. Long story short, I'm starting to question my business plan. Because, there's some of the Ubers that, they really do take care of their vehicles. I'm one of them. But the first Uber I got into had a denim seat cover. And I'm not talking like a fitted seat cover. It looked like someone took some denim.
A couple pair of old jeans.
Yeah, well, they went to like the fabric store, got like heavy denim and covered their back seat. It's like, we don't want your butt stain on my seat type cover.
Or maybe the seats looked even worse.
Well, I was hoping not, but I didn't want to take any guesses because it was a light-colored interior car, and the cover I was sitting on was, I think it was darker than my soul. and she explained why it was there, and that's all fine and dandy, but tuck the sides in, make it look a little presentable. I don't want to feel like I'm about to get whacked on denim instead of plastic. I'm a good Italian. I know how to whack someone. You use plastic, not denim. That was the first one. The second one, as I went from, I have a stop I always make in Providence, no matter what, for a couple of dirty martinis. I stopped in there. I saw one of my favorite bartenders, Des, and while we were going to see Des, it was only like a $6 ride from Fat. Mm-hmm. And I noticed this guy had no regard at all for what the GPS was telling him to do. So when he was going to take a left, and which I know the routes in Providence because I drive Providence too, I knew which way he was going to go, and I'm like, no, take a right. No, take a right. I'll direct you. If you don't want to listen to the GPS, I'll tell you where to go. And I had to tell him every friggin' turn. Otherwise, he wanted to take a left when it was a right. Take a right when it's supposed to be a left. And, again, this just makes those of us who do the job and do it with a little bit of care for the other person, you make us look bad.
Yeah.
And the last one, which I'm fortunately saving the best for last, I got in, very nice lady. She seems to be a professional whatever during the day, and she does this at night.
Side hustling.
Yeah, nice side hustle. Very well spoken. However, she had a penchant for gangster rap. So
as most young professionals do.
Yes. But I heard more F-bombs in the 20-30 minute ride home than I heard all day long at Metal Fest. So, needless to say, I was a little taken back. Now, being a driver, I honestly, just get me home. I don't care. Yeah. At that point, I wasn't on the verge of puking like most people are at that point.
Get me home and save me $10,000 on a Dewey.
That's it. Well, she saved me the $10,000, and I learned a few new words. I think on the ride home because she was very young and very with the hep cats of the day, and she knew exactly what she was talking about, and I had no clue. So that was my Uber experience. Metal Fest 4 was a great time. Kilgore killed it. I love every time I see them. And, of course, I went to school with a couple of guys in the band, so that tells you how old they are.
Back in my day, they were called Kilgore Smudge.
Well, before that, it was Kilgore. And when the original incarnation was the high school name that we went to, I went to LaSalle Academy, so it was the LaSalle Academy Band. So,
Wow.
yeah. This is going back in the day. So, let's see what time. Why don't we take another break here? Now, this is one of the bands that I heard at Metal Fest 4. This was actually on the lounge stage, too. I was talking to the guys. I gave them my card. I know they're listening because one of them actually posted that he was listening. The name of the band is The Broken. They're out of New York. Parts unknown. I know one of them is from Schenectady because he already friend requested me. So, this is The Broken.